In today's show, Bitcoin holds $40,000 as on-balance volume, hints at multi-month Bitcoin price breakout. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. As shared here, Bitcoin on the verge of breaking out to the upside, as confirmed by technical indicators, is trading inside an ascending parallel channel with resistance at 45 to 46,000 and support at 35 to 36,000. If Bitcoin breaks out of both patterns, target 1 49 to 52,000 and target 2 $57 to $59,000. And as on-chain analyst Dylan LeClaire shares here, don't sleep on the Lightning Network, which continues to grow at an impressive pace. Total public channel capacity is above 3,500 BTC, with the month-over-month growth rate displayed here. And as shared here, vertical accumulation on Bitcoin continues. And quoting the senator of Mexico, we need Bitcoin to be legal tender in Mexico. Let's go. And quoting Max Kaiser, as predicted 3 years ago, global hash wars intensifies as legacy payment rails and payment networks shutter. All countries will turn to Bitcoin to move money and to replace their fiat and gold strategic reserves with unconfiscatable, uncensorable, immutable BTC. And quoting rich dad Robert Kiyosaki, Bitcoin in war, Investors Business Daily reports many Russians using Bitcoin as lifeline after ruble collapsed. 13% of Ukrainians, 12% of Russians, 8% of Americans own crypto. Ukraine/Russia war giving rise to crypto as a safer haven than government fake fiat money. Also in today's show, miners that hodl the most Bitcoin are relentlessly expanding. That's right, according to a new report by Arcane Research, it indicates that publicly listed Bitcoin miners are constantly looking for expansion opportunities as they plan to increase hash rate faster than the whole network in 2022. Also in today's show, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says recent court victory against the SEC is a win for the entire crypto industry. Quoting him here from a recent Bloomberg interview, I think it is a victory not just for Ripple the company, but also the whole crypto industry. The SEC, I think, has consistently tried to really expand their reach and their control over the crypto industry. We've seen that not just with Ripple, but in other cases. Also in today's show, co-founder of Bitmex predicts gold rising to $10,000 while Bitcoin marches to $1 million. That's right, we're talking about a seven-figure Bitcoin price. Quoting him here on Twitter, what happens when you cancel the world's largest energy producer? Energy Canceled is an essay on why post-1971 Petro/Euro-dollar regime died on February 26, 2022. Are you ready for $1 million Bitcoin and $10,000 gold? Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs, along with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. If you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Today's episode is brought to you by FTX US, built by traders for traders. That's right, FTX US is the best way to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, as well as other digital assets. And did you know you can trade crypto with up to 85% lower fees than its top competitors? That's right, there are no fixed minimum fees, no ACH transaction fees, and no withdrawal fees. Also note that FTX is the only leading exchange that supports both Ethereum and Solana NFTs, and there are no gas fees. And you might have heard of them from their Super Bowl commercial with Larry David or their partnership with Stephen Curry and Tom Brady. That's because the world's biggest names trust FTX. And they have a special promo they're running right now where if you download the FTX app today and use my promo code Crypto News, you can earn free crypto on every trade over $10, truly making this a no-brainer. And the more you trade, the more you earn. So go ahead and download the FTX app today by clicking the link in the description right down below. Use my referral code Crypto News and let's start stacking those sats, shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Make some noise in the live chat. The Bitcoin narrowed its consolidation range on March 18th as the TradeFi trading week looked to set the end with 40,000 still in place. Right here, looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Now, data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin preserving 40,000 support overnight. And with it, the area highlighted as crucial by analysis on Thursday. Macro cues have lessened following the United States Federal Reserve rate hike confirmation, with the lack of new triggers from Europe steadying the market overall. And for popular trader CryptoEd, the next few days should see either a continuation to a target zone of 43K or a breakdown of the current trend. And analyzing his Elliott wave setup for the 4-hour chart, he noted that the cycle was still bearish prior to a range high of 45,000 being broken, something something which could happen after another few consolidatory moves in between. Now, those moves, specifically a strong bounce during the retracement, would be a signal to go long, he said in a recent YouTube video update. And other participants were increasingly bullish on the outlook too, with Twitter trader Zima now increasing on balance volume, reflects growing demand for an asset at the current price traded. And for Bitcoin, the time appeared to be night for exiting a sideways price zone in place since as far back as January 2021. As he shares here, this time equals no different. I haven't moved a single line on my on balance volume since I started tracking the move 8 weeks ago. We have broken out of the wedge on the top side and are flipping the 20-day on balance volume moving average. We're on the cusp of a multi-month bullish continuation after a year of crab. And fellow account Alan Ah added to the optimism, eyeing a potential move out of Bitcoin's 2022 range with 46,000 as the top. As he shares here, Bitcoin's on the verge of breaking out to the upside, as confirmed by technical indicators, is trading inside an ascending parallel channel with resistance at 45 to 46,000 and support at 35 to 36,000. If Bitcoin breaks out of both patterns, we have target 1 between 49 and 52,000 with target 2 between $57 and $59,000. Let's freaking go. Also this week came with a new achievement for Bitcoin's network growth, notably by the Lightning Network, which passed 3,500 BTC capacity. That's right, part of the so-called Layer 2 technology on Bitcoin. Lightning allows instantaneous off-chain transactions to be sent en masse at practically zero cost. The technology has been in place for several years and has quietly grown behind the scenes to cater to increasing volume in mainstream consumers. Quoting on-chain analyst Dylan LeClaire here, don't sleep on Lightning Network, which continues to grow at an impressive pace. Total public channel capacity is above 3,500 BTC, with month-over-month growth rate displayed here in this chart. Bitcoin is scaling. And as Will Clemente shares here, illiquid supply shock ratio going essentially vertical. Supply continues to get absorbed by entities with a low statistical history of spending their BTC. And then we also have Zhu Su, who wrote, vertical accumulation on Bitcoin continues. Also quoting the Mexican senator, we need Bitcoin to be legal tender in Mexico, and there's speculation they may become the next nation to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. And as Max Kaiser shares here, as predicted 3 years ago, global hash wars intensifies as legacy payment rails and payment networks shudder. All countries will turn to Bitcoin to move money and to replace their fiat and gold strategic reserves with unconfiscatable, uncensorable, immutable Bitcoin. Also want to add in there incorruptible. And also quoting Robert Kiyosaki, Bitcoin and war. Investors Business Daily reports many Russians using Bitcoin as lifeline after ruble collapse. 13% of Ukrainians, 12% of Russians, and 8% of Americans own crypto. Ukraine/Russian war giving rise to crypto as a safer haven than government fake fiat money. Preach. And before I break down next story of the day, miners that hodl the most Bitcoin are relentlessly expanding. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. You can see Bitcoin correcting down 1% for the day, still maintaining above $40,300. We have Ether up 0.6%, trading at around $2,800. Luna down 6%, trading just above $83, while Solana, Polkadot, Cardano all correcting and in the red. Bright. Now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin miners are hodling more and more Bitcoin while relentlessly expanding their operations this year. In 2022, a new report by Arcane Research indicates that publicly listed Bitcoin miners are constantly looking for expansion opportunities as they plan to increase the hash rate faster than the whole network in 2022. And right here in this chart, you can see the publicly listed Bitcoin miners projected hash rates coming from Arcane Research. Now, almost 45% of the global hash rate derives from North American miners, according to the latest figures by the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index. With the massive projected increases in target hash rate among the publicly traded Bitcoin miners, it's likely to increase. Now, Jared Merilud, an analyst for Arcane Research, shared that most publicly listed miners pursue a hodl strategy, doing their best to keep as much as they can of their own Bitcoin mine. Quoting him here, this hodl strategy enables them to serve as Bitcoin investment vehicles for investors who want to own Bitcoin indirectly through an investment structure. And Whit Gibbs, the founder and CEO of Compass Mining, explained that public mining companies definitely have an advantage when it comes to hodling Bitcoin because they have access to the capital markets. As he shares here, they don't need to liquidate their Bitcoin in order to buy more machines, increase their rack space, etc. They're able to go to the capital markets and get that money to continue to expand, so they're able to hold large positions in Bitcoin, and some of the largest miners hold huge amounts of Bitcoin. Gibbs added, it's crazy how much some of them are hodling. As published on Bitcoin treasuries, Bitcoin mining company Marathon hold the third largest amount of Bitcoin among businesses worldwide, right behind Tesla and MicroStrategy. As you can see here in this chart, it shows you the Bitcoin hodlings of publicly listed Bitcoin miners. And since January of 2021, miners' reserves have been steadily increasing, reflective of their hodl strategy. Gibbs suggested that the publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies are taking more of a bullish approach to BTC. As shared here, the companies are looking at Bitcoin on their balance sheet as a way to drive up their market valuations. Now, Mellerud also understands that Bitcoin mining stocks are increasingly popular in the legacy financial markets. As shared here, the demand for Bitcoin investment vehicles is high, particularly in the US. Since the Bitcoin ETF market is immature, the Bitcoin ETF saga is an Achilles heel to the network, as successive Bitcoin ETF applications have been rejected. And while market interest for Bitcoin miners swells, Mellerud sums up why the mining business models is attractive and effective, echoing Gibbs' comments. Miners are some of the biggest Bitcoin bulls out there, and they utilize the highly developed equity and debt markets in the US to raise money to pay for their expansions and operating expenses, allowing them to keep the Bitcoin they mine. The Bitcoin miner Hut 8, for example, recently posted record revenues, with its overall Bitcoin hodling surging by 100%. 2022 may not be the year of the bull, but it's certainly a good time to publicly mine the orange coin. However, I think it is a great year for the bull here in 2022. I can't wait for the next leg up. I feel we're just getting started. And before I break down next story of the day, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says recent court victory against the SEC is a win for the entire crypto industry. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just above 1.8 trillion with 82 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The current Bitcoin dominance is 42.4%, with the Ether dominance at 18.5%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the week, as you can see, a sea of green, which is nice to see. We have coins like Aave up 30%, Rune up 30%, GRT up 23%, Basic Attention Token up 21%, as the gains continue. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, it's a Crypto Greed and Fear Index, shows we're currently rated a 25 out of 100 in extreme fear. Yesterday a 27, last week a 22, and last month a 51 neutral. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, like we're witnessing right now. BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is celebrating a recent court decision to deny the US SEC a motion seeking to strike the payment companies fair notice defense. In an ongoing lawsuit, the SEC alleged that the payments company unlawfully sold XRP as an unregistered security, a position the regulator maintains to this day. And in their defense, Ripple asserted that it lacked fair notice and that its conduct was in violation of law and contravention in Ripple's due process rights from the SEC. Now, Garlinghouse says in a new interview on Bloomberg that the recent court decision to not strike Ripple's fair notice defense is a victory for the entire crypto industry. Quoting him here, I think it is a victory not just for Ripple, the company, but also the whole crypto industry. The SEC, I think, had consistently tried to really expand their reach and their control over the crypto industry. We've seen that not just with Ripple, but in other cases. And he makes a great point. And according to the Ripple CEO, providing regulatory clarity to the crypto industry is preferable to a regulation by enforcement and approach where lawsuits, for instance, are used to demonstrate the regulatory policy. As he shares here, if we want the US to be a leader in this new growing critical innovative industry like the internet 20 years ago, we need that regulatory clarity. And the SEC is just really coming out and saying, we're going to file lawsuits, enforcement. They're not going to provide clear rules so that people know how to operate as other countries have done. That's right. The SEC has just been dragging this out as long as they possibly can. Garlinghouse says that the SEC has harmed the crypto industry's competitiveness in the world's largest economy. He shares it right here. I think there is no question that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has reduced the competitiveness of this critical critical industry in the US, I think they have been out of step, not just with other parts of the US government, but they've been out of step with other major economies around the world. The only country in the world that considers XRP, the digital asset that Ripple uses in our technology stack, the only country in the world that thinks XRP has been a security is the United States. We work successfully in the UK, in Switzerland, in Japan, in the AEU, in Singapore. All these countries have acknowledged XRP as a currency because that's how it's used. And at the time of this recording, XRP is currently trading just above 77 cents. And to watch this entire interview with Bloomberg and the Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, check the show notes below the video in the description. And before I break down our final story of the day, co-founder of Bitmex, Arthur Hayes, predicts gold rising to $10,000 while Bitcoin marches to $1 million. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,000 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store, now live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, a daily letter that goes out to over 30,000 subscribers every single day. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, a blog I update daily, which can be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Bitcoin may be primed for a quantum leap in its development thanks to inflation this year, a Bloomberg analyst has claimed. That's right. In a new tweet on March 17th, Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence, released a fresh bullish take on Bitcoin's future under the current macro conditions. Well known for his belief in Bitcoin coming from the latest global financial turmoil out on top, McGlone argued that inflation would ultimately help Bitcoin's maturation as an asset class, claiming it would even beat gold in terms of returns. As he shares here, facing the Federal Reserve, inflation, and war, 2022 may be primed for risk asset reversion and mark another milestone in Bitcoin's maturation. It's unlikely for Bitcoin to stop outperforming gold stock market amid bumps in the road as the Fed attempts another rate hike cycle. And he shares this chart, which shows Bitcoin's performance relative to a basket of macro assets. Now, the forecast followed the first in what the Fed hinted would be a series of key interest rate hikes, an event that delivered a modest but welcome boost for the Bitcoin price action. Now, McGlone, however, was far from alone in his prediction. We have Arthur Hayes, the former CEO of derivatives exchange Bitmex, who delivered a stark warning about what was to come for global financial markets in his latest Medium post. The Ukraine-Russian war, while adding to inflationary pressure, is symbolic because it has shown that even a central bank's foreign currency assets can be effectively stolen. He argued, quoting him here, "You cannot remove the world's largest energy producer and the collateral these commodity resources represent from the financial system without serious, unimagined, and unintended consequences," he reasoned. Covering a range of macro topics, the post foresaw a restructuring of the financial system during which Bitcoin, like stocks and commodities, would see heavy losses. Quoting him here, "If you aren't willing to babysit your Bitcoin, then close your eyes, press that buy button, and concentrate on the safety of your family from a physical and monetary perspective. Awakening a few years after a fog of war dissipates will present a situation where hard money instruments rule all of global trade," he wrote. Ultimately, however, both Bitcoin and gold should take a significantly more important role as stores of value in the face of a declining participation of the US dollar and the euro standard from other governments. Now, under such circumstances, which he acknowledged were to play out over the next decade, gold could be 5 figures an ounce, while a single Bitcoin can fetch a 7-digit dollar sum. Quoting him right here, "For a single Bitcoin, my unit is in the millions. For an ounce of gold, my unit is in the thousands." He continued, "That is the magnitude of fiat denominated price that will occur in the coming years as global trade is settled via neutral hard monetary instruments and not the debt-backed fiat currencies of the West." And quoting him here on crypto Twitter, "What happens when you cancel the world's largest energy producer? Energy Canceled" is an essay on why the post-1971 Petro/Euro dollar regime died on February 26, 2022. Are you ready for $1 million Bitcoin and $10,000 gold? What are your thoughts surrounding Bitcoin price hitting 7 figures as Arthur Hayes predicts, as well as gold hitting 10,000 an ounce? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode. Pokeyman wrote, "Hey JV and Crypto News Alerts fam, I feel it in my waters $222,000 Bitcoin by year end, but I think altcoins bearing a dozen will crash and burn. A clear out of the ish coins is long overdue. I have altcoins, but just small bags I'm using for speculating. Take care. God bless you and yours. God bless the Crypto News Alerts fam. Cheers, fam. Thanks for sharing. Happy hodling. Our next featured comment comes from eCoin, who wrote, Aloha JV, solid show right out of the hotel room, Hawaii. Hit me up, let's get some beers. I wish. I'm still in Puerto Rico, fam. We'll be in Miami, though, very soon for the Miami conference. Hope to meet some of y'all there. One love. And our third and final featured comment comes from our very own Inner Dino, who wrote, Hello JV, just popped back to drop a comment and a like. I greatly appreciate the continued support. As always, fam, Bitcoin to the moon. Let's freaking go. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.